Hello everybody and welcome once again to Surviving with BloodMagic. Last episode we built all of these rituals here and I actually made a slight mistake. So let's look at the mistake, and also I need to extend something. So first of all, let's look at the mistake. I press F3 here and you'll see the chunk marks. So let's have a quick look at those. And what I'd done is I'd actually got this or these three rituals 2 blocks to the left here. So what was happening was this last crystal here wasn't in range of, it wasn't in the same chunk, and aura mutates as you know, so I've moved it back a bit over here like this. So all of those 4 are now in the same chunk. I've had to turn off the automatic splitting of crystals with the ritual so that they don't run at the moment, because this call of zephyr doesn't have enough range. The call of zephyr by default has a range of 5. In fact, if you have a look at the book, we should be able to see that. I haven't got the book with me. Right. But what I have to do then is build something that's actually not documented in the book, which makes life difficult. So what we're going to do is build that. So we need this orb. We need the this. So it's a crafting recipe. And what we need to do is make a ritual tinkerer. I think it's called the ritual tinkerer. So let's have a look at the uses of demonic slates, because that's the easiest way of remembering it. You see, you can make all of the advanced blocks with the demonic slate. And the one we're going to do is the ritual tinkerer here. Now that actually isn't documented like this. So now we've got this ritual tinkerer. And then you can right click on a ritual master stone. So let's go and do that. And we can then set a range. This is the bit actually took me quite a long time to figure this out, because I wanted this call of zephyr here to have a range. So what you do, you come along here and it's got different modes. So if we have a look at it and press, does it tell you anything on here about it? No. But if you shift right click it, like that, it says sets the will consumed, defines an area and information. So what you do with this is you right click the master MSR, master ritual stone, and it tells you picks up the items and places them to a linked chest. So what you then do is you can define the area. So shift right clicking and you can define an area. So when you right click this there, it first of all wants the location of the chest. So you can shift right click this. No, I think you have to shift right click it, and then the first block of the stored range, and shift right click it again, and that's where it's going to put the chest. At the moment I've got the chest here. Now the next one of these, if you right click this again, sets the location. Okay, that's the chest, and then shift right click it again, sets the suction. So the items will be placed suction. So I was trying to do things like this. I was trying to set up the area so it just covered these 3 things at the top. Let's turn those off. Those 5 things like that. But it wasn't working because it has to include the master ritual stone in the area. So let's go and give it a decent area. Probably, I suppose a good place to start would probably be somewhere down here like this. Let's do it in this corner over here. So that's the first range of the area, and then I want to go and include this block up here. You see I also put a chunk loader in here as well, to actually make sure that the whole area is covered like this.
The block range given is too far. Needs to be within a vertical range of 10 blocks.
Okay.
Range of 10 blocks.
Right, too big. Let's try that again. That's the first block. I've obviously got narrator turned on, which I don't like. Let's set this one.
Range given is too far. Needs to be within a vertical range of 10 blocks.
Have I got the right?
Range of 10 blocks.
Hold on. Let me turn that off because it's driving me crazy. Control B. It's also got a lot of mobs in here while I'm doing this.
Narrator narrates chat.
Yeah, off. Good,
Narrator
thank you.
off.
Really irritating, that narrator. You can't configure it to be turned off permanently. I wonder if I've got the right mode in this. Chest suction. Okay. Because there were different. I suppose I need to do it over here somewhere. I can't remember where I picked last time, actually, to be honest with you. Maybe I just picked 10 blocks. it needs to be 10 blocks within from the master ritual stone. I know that. And it needs to be here. Let's pick this block here. That's the first range. Maybe I was too far in this direction. Let's just go up and put it onto this dirt block up here. So that range is now successfully set. So we can test it. So let's go over here. If I was going, I could have tested this earlier on too, but let's just jump down here now. Because over here, none of these would be getting picked up. So let's just come here and then drop something. What shall we drop? I don't know, just drop a piece of wood like this. And you'll see it's gone. So that range is, and that piece of wood will now be in this chest over here. I did notice there are a few bones in the chest, so there must have been a skeleton spawning up here. And slime balls. I know slime spawn here. And you see that that's working. So now I can turn this off. Or on. Turn the lever off, so turn it on basically. Like this. So this one here is the accelerator, and this is the crystal one. So this is going to break all those crystals. And what was happening before is I was getting them into my inventory. It's interesting. I have noticed something else while I was talking to you. Before, you see they're breaking off now, and you can see they're getting picked up. This one, the steadfast one, which is purple, was actually in this position. So it must be, the position of these also must be set up from where you are. So they're going into this chest here, as you can see. Maybe we'll see one of these going up. There, we just saw that one go up. Steadfast will. 63, 4. So these are growing up steadily. And it's using these ones here. So at the moment, what's happening is this chest is also linked to this input routing node here. So the input routing node down hasn't got any limits to it. In fact, it should have. Maybe it doesn't need any. And then the output side is over here. And what I've done is I've added some more crucibles to this. So these are crucibles. So I've got 5 crucibles here, one for each of the 5 types of will. And the other thing I haven't brought with me, and I should have done, is the will aura gauge, because the aura gauge does actually work. I thought it didn't work. And here's the master node. So these are getting put out of here, and here's the outputting node here. You can just see it and right click it. So up is vengeful will. North is corrosive will, south is destructive will, west is demonic will, and east will be the last one, which is steadfast will. In fact, I think like that. So they're always getting, didn't show you that, they're all got, if I click one, they're all set to 1. So they only put in 1 will into these at any one time. So they get consumed and burnt in here, and then they put into the aura, and then the crystallizes them into these crystals, and as if you watch this, every once in a while it'll do one. So we can speed it up again by simply turning this one on, which is the go faster one. So that's using LP from the network to do this. So of course the LP is coming as a slime by the sounds of it in here. So that they should be getting running faster. I'm not sure it's completely working. Sometimes it doesn't seem to work, it stops working or something like that. Anyway, so let's go now down. I will get the aura gauge and come back again. So I've got the aura gauge with me, and as soon as I get into this chunk here, I had a crucible here burning will off, but now we can see we've actually got, oh yeah, there must have been a skeleton spawning. It must have a dark patch here. Let's have a quick check. Oh yes, there are a few, look. Well, how about that then? I need to light those up. I'll do that before I forget. You can quite happily put a torch on these, it doesn't have any negative effects. I'll just make sure that they're all lit up so we don't have any more spawns. I only really care about creepers because they would do more damage than good, so to speak. And so here we can see, as we go into this chunk here, we've got lots of will in all of the different colours. You can see it down the bottom on the left hand side here. You can see it down here is where I'm trying to show you. And if you press shift, it tells you the numbers. And those are going down slowly as it gets used up in here. In fact, I can check whether that's the accelerator's working by turning off this one. Yeah, so it is working. There are mobs getting around, as you can hear. And turn it back on again just to be on the safe side. If I can reach it. So these are getting brought into here. And I said there was a plus, didn't I? Now, I don't know whether I did, just a bit double check there. You see, just one got created there. Just to be on the safe side, when you do, when you crucibilize or burn any of these crystals, there's a chance of getting it splitting into the others. So that's how it was working before. With the with only demon will, I was getting a lot of demon will, and a little bit of these coming through. So that was, as they were growing, they created a new side chunk, which was then getting like that. They're getting split off. Those two just got done. So this is how demon will works. It also works how the tinkerer works, so that's explained as well. Turn off this. No, I don't need that anymore, do we? Jump down and help myself again. Oh, I didn't that time. So the next level up here of the altar is tier 5. I am actually ready to do tier 5. I will be honest with you, because we basically need a lot of nether stars. Now, strangely enough, I have got 4 pal on this here, 4 pal 3, and that gives you a 60% chance of getting heads when you kill a mob. And I was in the nether fortress for about an hour or two, and I got 21 wither skeleton skulls without setting up any mob spawner. I'm just running around bashing them, trying to avoid getting wither and getting blasted by ghasts and blazes. So I have got enough wither skulls to do the wither 7 times, which would be good. But first of all, I'd like to do living armor. I've spoken about this before, get the right bit. So what we need for living armor is binding reagents, and I don't know living armor very well, but I want to build it first of all. So this one here, the recipe for this, dead easy. It's just Hellfire Forge. You need 400 will and it uses 10, so it's not you've got to have a common tartaric gem, so you need to have at least tier 3, because I think the common one requires imbued slates. There you go. So it needs tier 3 altar. Well, once you've reached tier 3, and it didn't actually take very long to get to tier 3, you can start to do this stuff. The one thing I haven't shown you yet is how to get different types of will into your weapons, but we'll do that hopefully today if I've got enough time. So we make this. It doesn't use up so much will, but it needs a lot to start it. And when you've got these, if we look for the uses of those, right, we can enchant it, but we can also use alchemy arrays here. So we can take diamond tools and create bound tools, and here we've got an iron helmet which we can turn into living armor. So you've got a living chest plate, and this is dead easy. So let's do this. First of all, I've got to make the armor, of course, because I could have probably done that before, couldn't I? I need 24 iron. I don't need the string. Let's get rid of it. I seem to be picking up bits and pieces. I'm trotting around. Usually because of the magnets here, but so let's make the armor anyway. So let's do, what do we want? Chest plate. There's like, I'll do leggings first. Chest plate. There's a good way to do this, and I'm not sure exactly which the order is. Boots. Take those out like that. And a helmet. Then we need the alchemy array, so we need at least 5 charges in that, and I think we've got more than 13, plenty. So we're going to make sure we do this in the right order. That's the only important thing. So let's right click the ground here and create that one. Let's double check it. I'm pretty sure we put the binding reagent in first, and the uses of that. That's, you can enchant your armor, and you repair your armor, so you're repairing it. That's right. So yes, it's binding agent and sword or helmet. So let's do the binding agent first of all then. Let's get things into place. We'll do the helmet first of all. So we put down the binding reagent in here. Right click it. Ooh. Maybe I need a bit more space and right click this. Just stand out of the way in case it's going to be a big bangy one. It is a big bangy one. And there we go. I wonder what happened if I did that near the chickens, because they drive me crazy. I'll do it again. This time we've got the helmet, so we'll do the chest. We'll work our way down, shall we? Get out of the way again. Very impressive, isn't it? So binding reagent always seems to do this, irrespective of what type of tool you're building. There we go. Next one. This time we want the leggings, don't we? I do like the effects of BloodMagic. They got some good animations. Like 5 blasts and then it's finished. There you go. Yes, 5 blasts. So the last one of these is the boot, or the boots. This only works when you've got the full set on, so you have to have the full set of armour on as well, by the way, just in case. I made an extra binding agent in case I wanted it for something else. While I was doing it, they're not that expensive in terms of materials. And what I was reading about the living armour is it actually behaves, it sort of adjusts itself to your own being. So let's put it on then. Take off our sentient armour. Probably I should change my sentient armour. Before I change it, let's just change it back to ordinary armour. And then we can take it off. So that's what I've been wearing so far. We can put on this. And have a look at ourselves now. Well, okay. Very red. Well, that's a good colour for BloodMagic, isn't it? Now this thing is supposed to learn by itself. I wonder if you can write... Oh, you can. Okay. So the sentient chip does actually still work with this one. So now I've got to basically enchant it. It's supposed to, if I run a lot, it'll make me run faster. If I fight a lot, it'll make me fight faster, or whatever. It gives you different types of weapons. Improves as you go along. So for whatever you're doing, so that's why it's living armor. If you have a look at the options for living armor, BloodMagic, they've got these downgrade tombs. So you've got these training bracelets, which we probably should make, and they've got these downgrade or upgrade tombs and downgrade tombs. So basically this is one healthy, and you can add to it this draft of angelus. So how do we make that then? Gold, gas tier, weak blood shard, antiseptic and neurotoxin. We can do that, no big deal. And this stuff is supposed to increase the amount of points that your armour gets. Coat of arms and bloodletters packs. Interesting. So we can actually make all this. What was the other one they needed? No, that might have been difficult. Antiseptic. So plant oil, gold nuggets. Yeah, no, none of those are very difficult, and we get 2. And then that will actually increase the rate we do our stuff at. So I've prepared all the ingredients for the angelus, draft of angelus. So basically we've got antiseptic, gold sand, weak blood shard, fermented spider eye and neurotoxin. Nothing complicated there, gas tier as well. Except for the gas tier of course, but it doesn't work with an apprentice blood orb, so we have to use, maybe the magician's one works. Oh, the magician one does work, yes. I've also created another master blood orb, I think. Let's just take this out of there, put that one in. It's carrying on processing, let's just see. I'm surprised about that. So it must take the LP out of the network when you start. Now what? Oh yeah. Okay. So that isn't linked to me, so I better link that to me first of all. 'cause I created 2 of these things, so because you do need them for crafting from time to time, so that's probably a good idea to make a second one. And if you have a look at the uses of this, what we're going to do next, and probably the next episode as it happens, is to do the incense altar and a few more upgrades to the incense altar. So we need stone brick. We need to make, and I think this one is the worn stone brick, which you could only make with the magician's master blood orb and higher, and wooden path. So if we, for instance, have a look at the recipe for this, you'll see it's just got these 2. So it's got the arc major, the master, and that's it. And the next one up from there would be to do obsidian. So we look for the uses when we go around this one. Look for uses of that. The last one of these would be the obsidian path. I think that'll probably be at the end here. Yes, obsidian brick path. So we need all these things to extend the incense altar. We'll do that another time. So that's why I've got this. Now I've got this draft of angelus. I ain't sure how we use it. Let's have a look. It doesn't have a uses on it as such, but maybe I have to craft it with the armour. Nope. Maybe we have to enchant it with the armour. I'm not sure. Let's have a look at. Maybe I'll just have a look in the book. That might even help us better. So no, that one and the draft of angelus. Nope, doesn't work. As you'll see when I've got this thing, I've actually been using it for a little bit of time as it happens. So we've got. I also got attacked by a mob, so we've got a little bit of damage on it. But here we see that they've got these dwarven might, quick step assist, quick feet. What else we got? A soft fall, level 5. Keep telling you I keep jumping off things and hurting myself, so that increases that one nicely. Tough palms, strong legs, and experience. And now we've got 96 of 100 upgrade points. So to increase this further, we have to upgrade it. So let's have a look in the book about draft of angelus again. It was actually under armour, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was. Oh, I know what it was. Let's have a look. Living armour. Does it tell me anything about it in the book here? Rather than I'll tell you what. I'll come back in a second when I figured it out. Well, what you do is you drink it. I just drunk it and I just backed up my game and I started again, but it's actually left the stats on here. So we just drink it like this. And I'll show you what it does. It basically gives you everything. So you've got wither, poison, regeneration. So regeneration is step 2. It's a little bit longer, so you don't really die. It's a bit uncomfortable for 15 seconds or so. Then you can eat and get your stuff back again. So now we've got 200 points on our armour, as you can see, and I've got another upgrade points. So something has increased. Healthy 1, I think. Living chest plate, healthy 1. I'm not sure what's actually increased. Probably something to do with poison. But you see, I've got step assist now, and I've also got strong legs. So step assist is that one. Strong legs is this one. So you can jump up higher. So that's basically that one. Took a while to figure it out, and I do apologise for not figuring out earlier, but it's actually sometimes quite difficult to find some of these things in the manuals. So I'm having to look on the internet for this stuff. So the next thing we're going to do with living armor is make one of these things. So 2 gold, 2 iron, and 4 gold nuggets, and a blood orb. So let's have a look. Gold nuggets I haven't got any more of. We've used those up. So we need 3 gold, 2 iron, and a master blood orb, I think, is all we need for that. Let's just do this. Get those out. And I think they're all the same, these training bracelets. There's no different recipes. But I think you've got to use a master blood orb with that one. I don't think we can use a magician's blood orb. Let's have a look at the use of the magician's blood orb and see if we can actually do it. No, we can't. So if we do look at the uses of this one, we should be able to see it, and there are an extra 2 pages, so I think I'm just having a look at actually at the end. Yes, here we are. So the things you can't do with the opaque mini block, which I'm not sure what it does in fact. So then I've got to figure out how to use this thing. Let's have a look at it first of all. In here, living arming training blade. Doesn't show anything when you scroll on top of it. So we right click it. No, shift right click it. No. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll have to go and research this because it's not obvious as how you use this thing. And I don't expect it's not in the book. Oops, try again. Uses of the book. Let's have a look. Right click. No, sorry, I'm being daft. Right click the book. So can we see the training bracelet? No, nothing in the book. So I've got to go and search the internet for that again. But next thing, the last thing today is let's have a look at aura. Because I have got some, but I didn't show you those. Let's go and get them out of here. Wrong chest. I was using the wrong chest. Probably should swap those 2 over, shouldn't I? So I've got those, as you can see. So what we can do with these, we can put different types of will into them. I'll show you how to do that. First of all, we can actually change them. So here's the crucible. So let's get this out of the way. I've got a bit full. My inventory's a bit full. Back in a second. So here I've got these 2 tartaric gems. This one's got 800 will and this has got 2400, but this can take 4096 will. What you can do is you can put this one in the crucible here, which is going to put some aura into the air here. As you can see, the gauge has gone up. I can come along here and put the greater tartaric gem in here, and this will start to fill up, as you can see. So basically what it's doing is it's transferring the aura from the air into this gem. So this is burning that one off, and it's putting aura into the air. Now what we can also do while we're doing this, let's just go down and get some more bits and pieces. I don't think I've got any will in there. I've only got this demonic will, which you can actually add to your. You can just basically pick it up. Once you've not got full will, you can pick it up and it will then get absorbed by the tartaric gems. So let's go down here and get some more will. Is this one, isn't it? I need to go to. I also need to go down here and double check that the call of the zephyr's working. It did stop working, and it was dropping bits and pieces on the floor, which was making me a bit unhappy. But yeah, you can see it stopped working again, which is making me a bit unhappy because these are basically then going to be despawning. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to pick this up and put it to the top here. I'm going to move this call of the zephyr to above this. Unfortunately, right below us here, or above us here, there's C. And what I've been doing is I've been getting rid of the C. Funny, you can actually push the C back, so to speak. And now I can dig up here and you'll see that instead of having C above me, which is what was the problem before, I've got just being attacked by some... Oh, what happened there? Some gravel. Let's go back up again. I should actually make sure I put down a torch just above me before I do that. This is why I'm getting these feet, because of these feet in here. Because what I've done is, where has it gone to? I just knocked a hole in there, didn't I? Oh, it's here, wasn't it? You can see there's daylight up here, and actually above there is ocean. As you can see on the minimap, there's ocean above it. So I've actually got rid of the sea. Now I'll show you how I've done that probably next episode, because it's the same principle as I was using for doing the ocean monument in my last series. So let's just jump up here and put up the piece of cobblestone so the mobs don't, or anything falls in like that. Pick up that as well. See, this should have been picked up by there. So in here we will actually start to lose. Oh, we've lost quite a lot of will, because this was 60 destructive will. Oh no, it's 60 wills. Okay, slime balls. So we're going to take a few of each one of these. I've been picking up other bits as I've come down here, but I've got 3 of the 5. Let's get the other 2. I'm just going to put this away in my chest here. I'll have to turn it off, of course. The one I need to turn off is the... Let's turn off this as well. gunpowder. It's a good source of gunpowder, of course, but have I got everything I can get rid of on me at the moment? I think so. I don't see any rotting flesh on there. Good. So what I'm going to do is just turn off both of them, in fact, so that the crystals don't split. And it'll prevent it doing a thing. So between episodes, I'm going to move the call of the zephyr to directly above these crystals here. So as you can see, I've just been picking up some more bits, so that it doesn't need to be reconfigured. I did actually reconfigure this when I started the game today, so I'm a bit puzzled as to why it doesn't seem to work properly, and there was a bug report about it as well. Anyway, what I've got is some will. Have I got enough will? I've got 4 vengeful will. I need some more vengeful will. Let's tell you what, let's fill up our stuff with will here. Take about half a stack of each one. Don't need that. Half a stack of that one. Demon will probably don't need, because we've dealt with that one anyway. Corrosive will. What's the one I'm missing? Corrosive. Let's just sort my inventory out. That's easier to see. I just need some destructive will like this. 32 should be plenty. So let's go back upstairs now again, and I can hear slime squidging around. Let's go back upstairs and then put this into the atmosphere and absorb it. What we're going to do is we're going to put it into the atmosphere like this. So this has actually got this into it at the moment. So we now need, this should be empty. I'm hoping this will be now empty. Yeah, it's empty. So now I can basically take this one out of here, and it's now gone 3,200. So what we can now do is we can put this one in here, and it shouldn't absorb any more will, because the will in this chunk is now 0. As you can see, press shift, it's 0. So what we can then do is we could say take corrosive will with us like this and put it into here, and as you put it into here, it's then going to be absorbed by this gem. Let's take let's have a look at this. So you'll now see this common tartaric gem's got 150 will in it. So you can actually put it in. I think there's a max 400 will or something like that. You can keep right clicking this until it's actually gone all in. And so that has how you actually change the type of this here. So now it's got more than 400 will in here. I'm just wondering how I'm going to sort this out with so much inventory so full. I'm just not sure what to do at the moment. Let's get rid of the cobblestone. I've got a little bit of cobblestone I can get rid of. Is there anything else I can get rid of? The bucket. I don't really need the bucket with me at the moment. Flint and steel. Actually, I'll put the flint and steel in my explore. I've got one, yes, but one in here. Put it in my exploring chest. Oh, that should be enough. So now we've got 450 will on this one, and these affect your sword. So it says now with 400 will I should have a poison effect 3 on here. I'm not sure what it's and it should be greenish. I think that's the one. I think that's the one we've got to check. Let me double look, have a quick look here. Yes, it causes a poisonous effect. So destructive will do more damage to your sword. So now let's go and create one of these with destructive will in it, for example. So the aura should be 0 because it's been all absorbed. So we should be able to take another one of these common tartaric gems here like that, and then get some of the destructive will, which is I've done destructive will, sorry, corrosive will. So let's put this into this gem. So if we look at this now, this has gone green. So this is how you actually make the different types of gem. And it's actually not too difficult to do. You can right click in that, and then you'll get another few hundred in here. Now my armour should then have gone green and gives a poison effect. And if you did go above more than 400, you get another poison effect. It doesn't see on here whether it's actually got a poisonous effect on here. Huh. How much will have we got in here now? 450, same as the other one. And you'll notice that the atmosphere has gone 0, so that's a good way. Let's do the next one. Let's put it up there. 23, so I need about 9 of these to actually start to do things. So we can put you see, put 3 in like this, and you'll see it goes up. And you can see on the bar that we've now got Vengeful Will in here. So let's take another one of these empty tartaric crystals, and this is now going to get a Vengeful Will. Yes, contains Vengeful Will. So just keep doing this. Now the next thing we can do also is actually to improve this armor is another one of these rituals, and I believe it doesn't stack with the draft of Angelus. So this one here needs 48 runes, and this also increases the will a bit. So I'll have a look at doing that. And if I finish that one for 300, so I just need a couple more pieces, and that 3 in fact, and that should give a 450 as well, like that. And of course that's that one done. So the last one of these will be Steadfast Will. So let's put another crystal in here and put the Steadfast Will in here. You can put 3 in at a time, I think, and it'll actually improve it. So now we've got Steadfast Will in this gem. So it's 100. So it's 50 will per crystal. Now there is something else you can do with these crystal clusters. Obviously you can make these special blocks. I'm not sure exactly what they do, and you can actually, you could have crafted it together. Alright, fair enough. But I think this one's probably easier to do it in the Crucible. You can make the stuff we've already made, Demon Pylons. I don't think we've actually made those, but we can make these Steadfast Will crystals. I'm not sure crystal clusters what you do with that. I think maybe that's just how much does it make? Requires 1200 will and makes 4. Let's just, maybe I'll try that actually. So let's have a look at this. 450. So now we have our 5 different will crystals of different types. So let's just try putting in 4 of these into here like that, and making a cluster. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what this thing does. Maybe it's just the crystal cluster you put down. Let's just put it down like this. Oh yeah, it makes a I don't think I'm going to get a very good return on that. I'll be honest with you, because it's made one of these Demon Will crystal clusters. Well, I can set up some automation, because that's the one that takes all of the power out of the out of your crystals when you're here. So there we have it. So that's it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Next time we're going to have a look at upgrading the incense altar, which will be actually makes quite a lot of difference when you're getting blood from yourself, self-sacrifice. Anyway, until then, I wish you all the best. Bye for now.